Funny LS true story. There was this massacre. They call it the St. Valentine's Day massacre. There was this massacre that happened on Valentine's Day where basically this group of people ran into this town and killed the whole town or enslaved the whole town. So I produced a special tank and I called it the Valentine and I sent it after the town. I was pissed. Like I said, I was a different kind of person. Like I had unlimited amounts of money and three or four countries. And so, like I said, there was this town, and this group of people went in there, and they basically killed the cops, killed the people, and they took over the town on Valentine's Day. And the on Valentine's Day, and they call it the Saint Valentine's Massacre, and it was world famous. So 1 year later, I basically was like, okay, I want a new tank. I was really like, when I heard about it, when it happened, I was like, I want a new tank, something big, something fast, something powerful, and I'm gonna call it the Valentine's Day, the Saint Valentine. And we hit the town. Literally, like it was the fastest raid ever. It was like a 6 month. We put the tank immediately into production. We rushed it, and we basically used parts from other tanks, and basically were like, and made a new tank that was powerful and strong that no one had ever seen before. And I called it the Valentine. And basically, we built a whole bunch of them, and we hit the town. I was sending a message that I was still around. Anyway, yeah, well, hey, if you have unlimited amount of wealth and an unlimited amount of production capability, what are you going to do with it? When people, like they killed like 50,000 people or something. It was a big town, and it was one of my towns, and they went in, they killed the cops, they killed the leader, they killed a bunch of people, and they did a bunch of bad stuff, and they called it the Valentine's Day Massacre. And they glorified it. And I was like, glorified this. So we built a tank in about 6 months, and they were nice and comfortable, and they thought they owned the place, and we hit the town. They thought I wasn't going to do anything. They thought, whatever. So I built this tank, and I called it the St. Valentine tank for the Valentine's Day Massacre. And when we built them, we rushed them through production, and in like 6 months, we had a working tank because they took over and they had the whole place surrounded. And they were basically like, we have this place now, we own it. And I was like, I want something that can beat those tanks and get in there. And we built a bunch of them, and we hit them with the St. Valentine's Day tank and my other tanks, which was basically way overwhelming force. They're like, you squashed a bug, man. It's like, well, yes, 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 yes. I could have done it sooner, but I wanted them to get comfortable. Anyway, whatever. They had already killed a bunch of people, and we were trying to get the people out of the town that were left there, and we were still in negotiations. So while they thought we were in negotiations and all that other stuff, we did the St. Valentine's Day tank, and basically in the back room was, and they were like, "Is that steel poured yet?" You know, well, that's how you get legendary. You do legendary things, and that's exactly the way I was. Psychotic, legendary, larger than life, and extremely compassionate. Like I say, people knew that. Some people said if he died, he might actually rearrange time and space just to come back, just to take vengeance on the. Like I started to actually get this like I got a cult following. People would praise me. People would because it's like $1 billion. Production fact. It's like we will need a new factory. We will need a big factory. And I like literally my lawyers would go out and be like, we'll be needing your factory. How much do you want? Just like basically, I built great big legendary factories, but this is how I ended up owning countries, was these ridiculous maneuvers, like basically using my wealth to basically, go for the throat, kind of just like just like there will not be oppression, there will not. I was psychotic. I was psychotic. It's true. I mean, well, I mean, I was a master inventor, and I was rich, and and I had been making something epic and wonderful, and this blight of death and destruction had come across my planet, and like I say, when I saw the film, when I saw the videos, when I saw what people were doing, that kind of stuff needed a response, and I and I got that, and I was that response. I was, you know, well, I mean, I am basically the B-1 bomber jets, like just like a scream, and that's how I was, that's how I became Lucifer, you know, Dark Angel, Avenger of the weak. I mean, that's how I became who I am. You know, Stars and Stripes and Eagles and stuff. People love me. People worship me because, I was the one that would just like, it's like you think you're powerful and then you meet me, Lucifer. And it's like, I am that powerful. And like thousands of tanks. Where did he get them? And jets. Whole countries basically, armored response of a whole country. I don't know how many tanks I have now, but I have a lot. Anyway, so it's from doing these kinds of things. There were people that thought they were powerful or deadly or whatever. I would see the films, I would see the evidence. There'd be the stories, and then I would do things like the St. Valentine's Day tank. And basically, we'd produce thousands of tanks, and we would roll. And I would have thousands. I mean, I had the most shells. I had the biggest cannons. I mean, I just never used them until someone asked for it. And there were people, they killed thousands of people. So I killed them back. Yeah, I mean, that's why I became like trillions of years old. I became like this epic. That's why people would scream, and like at the sheer thought of upsetting me and stuff, and why women would be like, Lucifer. It's like, yes, well, these I had, I was I wasn't quick to anger, but my anger was deafening. Like whole countries would stand to attention and march into battle for me and stand behind me because like they knew that people felt safe with me around. People knew that there was someone that would find those who had hurt them and punish them, or at least kill them dead. I mean, Abram tanks, I spent a lot of money. That's why people pay taxes too, because they know that I'm that one. If there ever was that bad of a person, at least while I'm around, I'd probably, most people, they take care of stuff for me nowadays. So anyway, but yeah, I mean, legend. Yeah, it's true. But that's how the St. Valentine's Day tank came about, because of the St. Valentine's Day massacre, which involved a whole town, or at least 3,000 people, or at least a lot of people. And so we rushed it into production. I hired the best. I was like, I need the best now. And basically, my people were like, and people showed up, and they got to work, and they literally built a tank in like 6 months. Well, I mean, it was using the present day tank, only we added more power. We did this, we did that, and like I had like 15,000 people working on it. So because we were going to hit a town, a very well defended town. Like we had built the defenses for that town ourselves, and then they had taken it over. So we needed something that could take out our defenses, which we already had a plan for that. So it's like, oh, you mean plan number 52? Okay, yes. Because we always, with our defenses, we always knew how to overwhelm our defenses. So we're like, and plan number 52, okay.